Let's see. Good morning, everybody. I am trying again to use the Noster Nest as we have our show today. And hopefully this is muted and okay, I'm not unmuted there. There we go. I need to move you over there. So, according to the guys last week, excuse me for scooting around a little bit. I don't have my seat just right this morning. I need to have two, myself and one other person in the Noster Nest in order for it to show up. And I'm going to test that now because I have myself here. I have my cell phone here. I don't see it there. That's on Snort though. It may not show there. I don't see it there. I don't see it there. Well, it may not work as easy as I'm thinking it should. Excuse me. Oh, well, let's see. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, darn it. I don't see it. Well, let me do it this way. Let me go. I'm using two different machines here. I think we talked about that one time before. It's Friday. It's Friday Live Unscripted, and this is the 60th episode of the Holstein House Friday Live Unscripted podcast. Well, it's the 60th live, but I am not sure. It's the 60th live episode of the Holstein House podcast. And of course, that also goes over to the YouTube video and the Facebook pages and stuff. So, yeah, it's the 60th one we've done. We've been doing them about twice a week that makes it 30 weeks, except for an occasional odd one here or there that I've had to pre-record. But yeah, May the 5th. No, it doesn't work that way. It's Revenge of the 5th. Revenge of the 5th. Yesterday was May the 4th be with you. And today is Revenge of the 5th. Star Wars. Yeah, wars, not Trek. Wars. It's fun. It's fun. I don't get tore up about all the Trek versus Wars stuff. So it has been a busy week. Today is no different. I did the Noster Nest last week, and Josh and Seth were able to join me, and they chimed in and they helped. And that episode is up on the podcast. It doesn't have a very good identifier on it or description because the day got crazy and I didn't get it done. So it's just Tuesday live is all it says, but it was really good. May the 4th was a good May the 4th. I am just all over the place today. Tuesday was a good show. So a couple of things I would just want to kind of start off with, if you don't mind. I've talked a little bit about Noster. I am not a Noster guru, But I am having fun over there. And today, actually, well, 2 days from now, is my 1 month anniversary on Noster, my 1 month Nosterversary. I actually created the account a month ago on April the 5th and was trying to figure it out. And on April the 7th, 2 days later, I got to show you because, I'm going to play this until people are just absolutely sick of it. On May the 7th, I get this. Oh, darn, it's not showing it the way I want it to. I get this. What this is it's a Zap or it's a uh, Bitcoin payment from Jack Dorsey, of all people. And he sends me 1,337 sats, which is the micro portion of Bitcoin. And it ends up, it's not even, I don't think, a penny or 1 cent in the United States. But so, and Josh, of course, you see Josh has sent me 69 sats, which that's Josh. So those are the first zaps or the first funding that I got from the Nosterverse. And it was really exciting to see that. I had to have Josh and Brian explain to me exactly what 1337 meant in geek speak. But, there it went, and that was fun. So let me try to put this back to where I had it. There, and I'll change that to there. So what you see there and I think it's backwards for you. So what you see there in this corner, that little QR code is for those of you who participate in the value for value and use Lightning. You should be able to. I know it's kind of tiny, but you should be able to scan that QR code and donate and send me sats that way. And it's not a set amount. That is not a set amount. That's an open amount. I think it's coded that it has to be more than one. I'm not sure. It came from my Lightning account. So it's like, create this QR code to have people give you, and that's what it is. So if you use the Lightning Network and you participate in the value for value, you should be able to scan that. I tell you what I could do. Well, did I have it up earlier? I don't know. But I don't think. Let me do this. There. Take a couple of seconds, grab your devices, scan that QR code, and on the Fountain Network, they call it tipping. And you can call it tipping, you can call it a donation, you can call it value for value, but that's what we want to do. Value for value. If you get value from this episode, feel free to share. Feel free to share. It doesn't work with US dollars unless you have an app that will convert fiat money to sats. So for those of you who don't understand that should be something you start studying up on, because I think it's going to be an international way of the future. Maybe not local, but international way of the future to make payments to people. So Satoshis. Yeah, and so some people will comment about crypto. So Bitcoin is the Coca-Cola of crypto, meaning that people will use the phrase Bitcoin to mean any generic cryptocurrency. Bitcoin is not the generic cryptocurrency. It is the it is the currency of the future. So yuck, my Noster Nest didn't pop up the way I hoped it would, although I did put it out there. So you may have more. Check your InPub on PrimalNet. Oh, so, okay, look here. So I have a post up that I put, and it says, wow, this is on using the Iris client for Noster. And I said, yeah, wow, today's my 1 month Nosterversary. I almost missed it. I've gone from 0 to 228 followers in just 30 days. Share the love, please. The next live after I hit 500, I'll do a drawing for either a t-shirt or mug. How is that? And that's something I'm going to talk about here in just a few minutes. And I did note that I tried to post it twice using Snort, and it just kind of sits there and looks at me. So if it came up twice, because for those of you who dabble in social media, sometimes things just don't post, whether it's on your end or on the internet end or whatever. And so I didn't want people to think that I was trying to chum the waters there. So I get a response from Jack Spirko, and Jack is one of the pod. He's not the pod daddy, that's Adam Curry, but Jack Spirko is a leader in the podcasting and YouTube world with permaculture and self-reliance living. And he says you may have more. Check your InPub, which is your code. Like with Twitter, you get your handle. In Noster, you get an InPub, which is just the long string of code. It will also translate to your name, but it behind the scenes with all the computers and stuff that are working on the ones and the zeros and the things like that. InPub is what it is. Check your InPub on primal.net. Follower counts are all over the map on most clients. I will do that. I will do that. Thank you for letting me know. All right. Read this on my live just now and will. All right. My amethyst is pretty accurate, and it's one of 57 versus primal shows 58. Okay. So, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to ignore you. My amethyst machine is in another room. We'll check both and see. All right. So there's a lot of different ways to use Noster. Meaning there's a lot, and I'll use this type of language because I'm not one of the programmers or developers. And so they get very particular about their languages and such things. Hello, Michael Sparks. I hope you are. I had to scroll my page down. I didn't see you there because I didn't have my page scrolled down. And that's my fault, trying to get used to the Noster nest. But just in the language of people like me, you could call these clients apps. They're not really apps, but you could call them that. And so there's different apps to access different things. So like let's use browsers. Browsers may be a better one. So you've got Chrome and you've got Microsoft Edge, you've got Firefox, I think there's one called Blaze. Is it Blaze? I can't remember now. But anyway, you understand that there's different browsers that you can use to access the internet. Well, there's different clients that you can use to access Noster. So what Jack is saying here, and what Michael is also saying here, is that check the different ones because you get different numbers. I have not yet used Primal. So I'll need to do that. I'm not going to do that while we're on here live because it just it doesn't take a lot of time, but it takes focus. So and that's not what I want to do here this morning. But so yeah, I'm going to check. I can't imagine it's going to be that far off on Primal compared to the other ones. I can't imagine it'd be more than I don't know, 5 or 6 maybe, but it is different. Some of the clients you can use surveys on, which I enjoy using the surveys. Some of them you can't. I posted a survey this morning about dogs, and it was a very simple survey on actually I guess it was more of a poll than a survey on fostering and having, would you rather have a puppy? Would you rather have an adult dog? Um, pure breed mutt that, and it more people it was like 53 to 47 puppies. Now I'm old enough. I don't, I don't, I don't want I don't want another puppy. I don't have the patience to train a puppy. So I don't want to do that anymore. But I cannot see that poll on every client that Noster has. So there's some additional development and things that are going to have to happen, and it's exciting to be in. I'm having fun learning this. I'm not like I said on Tuesday. I'm not like in the top 3 or 4%, the people who are developing and the people who are building this stuff. I am probably in the top 25%. I'm enjoying using it. I understand just enough to be able to keep up a little bit with using it and jumping back and forth and creating accounts and things. I do have to get some help, and I have gotten help from Josh a lot. So and he's been real good to help me, and that's the Renegade Butcher. He's all over the place. He's on YouTube, and he's on Noster, and he's on TikTok and stuff. And he is a butcher, a real life butcher, but he is very good with the technology. So now, speaking of Jack Spirko, I mentioned him just a minute ago because he suggested I go and check primal.net to see if I would have a different follower count on primal.net than I do on the other ones. And a few weeks ago, well, it was right after I got started, so it's been about a month. He came up with the hashtag Grow Noster, and he suggested to help people build their communities on Noster that you go over a period of 90 days. You post at least twice a day. Check the hashtag Grow Noster. You want to use that hashtag in your post. Check that hashtag and follow at least a couple people who you haven't been following before that are using that hashtag. And some other relevant tags. I mean, he's in the permaculture and self-reliance kind of stuff, and he suggested, hashtag permaculture or hashtag business, or things like that you would be interested in and follow. But to also message those people and let them know, hey, I followed you because of. And so what I've been doing, and it does help some. It does help some, I have to admit. What I've been doing is using the hashtag GrowNoster, obviously, in anything that's not Bitcoin related, because that was another thing that he suggested. Don't make this all about Bitcoin, even though a lot of the people on Noster at this particular time are heavily involved in Bitcoin and the promotion of the use of Bitcoin. So, but to share a message with the people that you're following. And so what I do is I just put a very simple message. I followed you because hashtag Grow Noster. And then most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, those folks are following back. And that's one of the things that he suggested as well. Every day, check the Grow Noster hashtag feed, check your direct messages to see who may have followed you and messaged you that, hey, I followed you, and return that follow. And do that to at least a couple people every day, and and they should grow, and you should grow, and so our community grows. But yeah, one of the things that I was going to mention today as well is in relation to this Grow Noster and my Noster account over there. Since I am at uh, the 200 mark, if I can hit 500, okay, if I can hit when I hit, I shouldn't say if, but when I hit 500, the next live that I do, so let's say I hit 500 tomorrow, the next live episode that I do, which is scheduled for Tuesday, I will do a giveaway. Now you're going to have to do a couple things because I gotta have to have you there so that I can connect with you, and I'll give some instructions on that. But I'll do a post with the information in it, not just on Noster, but you know, maybe on there first because that's what I'm trying to do is to grow that account. I'll do a giveaway. I'll do a Holstein House T-shirt or Holstein House mug, and maybe I will do a poll to see which people would like to have. And I'm not sure if I can put pictures up on polls. So like you have a question, which would you like, the mug or the shirt? And you have one answer for mug, one answer for shirt. I'm not sure if I can put those pictures below there. I will check and see because that will help as well, and let you guys choose which one you'd like to have. So that's going to be fun, I think. But I started, and now I have wallets, electronic wallets for my Satoshis. I have a couple different ones. I have a Moon wallet, I have a Blue wallet, and Blue wallet connects to Lightning wallet, and it acts as the pass through so that people who are sending me small sats on Noster or even on Fountain FM and stuff, I can transfer that to my other wallets. And I have a Lightning wallet that I use in the Telegram group. And the Telegram group is t.me/Holstein House. And you're welcome to join. You're welcome to join. We talk about the BNB process and things related to that and self-reliance and cooking a little bit here and there and just some generic stuff. It's a fun little group to be in. But so I have those wallets that hold those so that I can share them. And I started with well, actually, I started with 0, but when I started the podcast on Fountain, people were sharing value for value. They were sharing their sats. They were promoting me a little bit and stuff, and I would share back because on Fountain you have to pay to play if you want to put it. It's not really pay to play, but it's if you want to comment on someone's podcast, you have to pay like 10 sats. Now, it takes several thousand to amount to a penny. So it's not like you're actually doing a whole lot. But that way it weeds out spam bots and just people who are harassing you and stuff like that. Because usually if anybody has to put any effort into something more than just clicking a button and running their mouth, they won't do it. So I had built up quite a bit over there. I was sharing that back and forth. So it didn't actually start at 0, but the day I started the Noster account, I had maybe 100 sats in my Lightning wallet. And now I have over 12,000. So just in the month, and that doesn't count the ones that I've given back. So, if I'm commenting on somebody's post, I'm giving back. Maybe it's just 2 because it's just, I want to let you know that I like this. Maybe it's 200 because I want to let you know I really like this. Some people are given thousands, and I will do that when I get to the point where I've got thousands to throw out there all the time. But I do have 12,000, but I can't give away 10,000 because then I'd only have 2, and then I wouldn't be able to share the love and share the experience with other people. So, but in the course of a month, I've gotten up, and it's actually higher than that because I have a couple, because not all of them are in the Lightning wallet. So it's really fun. It's really fun, and it's an interesting. I don't want to say it's an alternative, but it is an alternative community. So to be involved in. Well, I'm halfway through today's show, and it's been all Noster all the time, which, worse things have happened. Worse things have happened. I have this machine that I'm on now. It's been locking up on me, and it has to be some background apps that are going on. If you have a Windows machine, you can sync an iPhone by downloading iTunes software, and I've done that since I got the iPhone, and I got the iPhone not because I'm an Apple person, because I have nothing else that's Apple. The iPhone is the only thing I have that's Apple. But I got it because the phone that I had was crapping out, and I was on my way to Denver for a conference. This has been, wow, when did I go to Denver? In 2007, I think. So I think Apple iPhone 3 was the first one I had. I've still got the physical machine. I use it to stream. It really still works. I use it to take pictures sometimes, but I really use it to keep for an extra phone for my Google phone for the BNB. I have a separate phone number for the Google, and I use it for that, and I use it to stream XM radio through a Bluetooth. So I do it that way, and but it still works. It still works for that. It still tries to update and it still tries to add things, and I don't know how in the world it does, but I've stripped just about all the apps off of it that I could possibly strip off so that it can function. But it still takes really nice pictures. So, but the battery doesn't last very long anymore, so I keep it plugged in most of the time. But anyway, so sometimes iTunes in the background is updating and it drives me insane because I don't see it. I don't realize that's what's happening. And then it's after the fact and I'm losing my mind. So this machine has locked up on me a couple times. It locked up on me last Tuesday when I was running the Noster Nest and talking to Seth and Josh and trying to do too many things at one time for the machine while it was updating that. And I did figure out that that's exactly what was happening. Plus, um, Microsoft Cloud was syncing in the background. So it just, if I don't remember to turn all that stuff off, I really need to strip it out of this machine. But I end up taking this machine with me, moving around a lot with it. And so I like to be able to access all that stuff without having to log in here or there and yawn. And so anyway, that's what we were doing on Tuesdays. Not all that exciting, but it is exciting because I was learning, and I was learning how to use the Noster Nest. And I haven't claimed the address. I know Seth suggested that I use a separate browser and all the time and use that same nest all the time. I would have to ask more questions about that. I mean, I get how to do it. I'm not sure why. And then if you clear your cookies on your browser, then you lose it. And I don't know if you can never go back. There's a lot I don't know. There's a lot I don't know. So I need to look into that some more. It's fun to do and fun to try. Now, let's get to a few mundane little things that we usually talk about here related to running the B&B. And one of the things that I like to do, it doesn't always happen because, even my best attempts at a live, I get off track and and folks will ask me questions sometimes and that'll throw me a little bit. And then I have to try to get back on track. But one of the things that and I use that broadly, if you have ceiling fans, you know that they catch dust and they have to be cleaned. And a couple times a year, you need to switch directions. So in order to circulate the heat better, you want the ceiling's fans moving in a counterclockwise motion. And that can be challenging for people to remember which way. So me too. So I'm always looking it up. But you need to stand under the ceiling fan, and as best you can, watch the fan blades move. And so the counterclockwise will be from your nose to your left ear, to your chin, to your right ear, back to your nose. So that's counterclockwise. Well, then when the weather warms up, you want to change that direction. You want it to go clockwise so it's circulating the cool air better. And of course, that's, from your nose to your right ear, to your chin, to your left ear, and back to your nose. So you get that, but you need to clean those blades as well. So I did that last Friday, and I have to use a step stool. And it is amazing. Step stool and the extension on my vacuum cleaner. It's amazing how much dust those things hold. And I dust those a couple times a season. So it's not every week, but spring, summer, fall, winter. I at least a couple times a season I clean those, and to help keep the dust down, just in the air. Those things, because if your power goes out, this is if your power goes out for enough time that the blades stop turning, and you have to either turn them back on or they come back on with the power, you're liable to see big chunks of dust fall off of those things if you don't clean them regularly. Plus, they just look bad. They just look bad. They get stained from the dust. You wouldn't think that would happen, but they do. They get stained from the dirt and the dust if you leave it sit there. And it's not healthy for your breathing, and it's not healthy for anyone in the room. And if you have dogs and cats that stir up dander and stuff, that also swirls in the air. That you don't think about that, but it does. And we need to take care of that. So I got that cleaned up over the last weekend, and then we get what? A cold snap. A cold snap. It never fails. If I put my snow boots away, if I put my heavy coat away, if I change the blades on the fan, we're going to get a cold snap. And if the magnolia tree is in bloom, we're going to get a cold snap. We don't live. I'm in the 6B or 7B. I have to look. I think it's 7B, the zone, agricultural zone. And my grandmother, the property where my dad was born and raised, has a huge magnolia tree. And every year, without fail, it buds and blooms. It's gorgeous. But then we have a cold spell, and then it turns all the blooms just really nasty, slimy brown because they get frostbite. I wanted to share with you that I have some new merchandise up on Etsy. Let me see if I can get to. Oh no, I can't. I know I can't. I have a VPN, virtual private network, ExpressVPN actually, and it Etsy doesn't like ExpressVPN. So Etsy will tell me there's too many requests or something because it's bouncing that signal around trying to log into Etsy, and too many, what is that phrase it uses? Too many requests, I think is the phrase it uses. So I have a really, really hard time getting Etsy to cooperate when I am logging in. So what I end up having to do if I'm here in the house, I end up having to, oh, I can do this. I think I can do this. I end up having to use my phone as hotspot, and then Etsy will cooperate. I do that with the bank too. I have a screenshot. Let me show you the screenshot if I can. Do. Share screen. Let me see. Window. There. Let me see how well this works. Let me show you this. This is a boom. There we go. Try to make it a little bigger for you. This is, darn it, go back. This is a screenshot, but what you'll see here, this is a new image that I have on shirts, on mugs, and some stickers and magnets. It's what it says. I don't know if it will if I full screen it, if it'll make a difference on your end. What it says is my family is unconventionally diverse. Unconventionally diverse. And what you have are footprints of 2 humans, Mr. Holstein and myself, 2 ducks, 2 chickens, a dog, and a cat. Now we actually have 2 dogs and 2 cats, and I have had someone point out that dogs have 4 feet, and yes, they do. But it was just a matter of balance to have two feet of each feet. So in effect, you could say the dogs and the cats are leaning on us, standing up, clawing the back of our legs, wanting us to do something. So do have this at holsteinhouse.etsy.com, and you can purchase those and get them delivered to you anywhere in the continental U.S. I don't know if they would ship internationally, but so they're there. That's a new one. I don't have too many yet. Did that? Here we go. Ah, rats, quit it. I don't have too many yet over there, but There we go. But I have a few things with mugs and enamel mugs, ceramic mugs, enamel mugs, T-shirts, and stickers, and those have the magnets on them. So they're there. Have fun. One, we have the Holstein House logo, and we have that one, and I have, oh, what's the other one? I forget. Darn it. See, that's where I'm at. I should be ashamed of myself. I don't even promote myself very well. But so I have those things, and they're fun. And those are available now. They're uploaded and available now. And my understanding is that they ship pretty well. I have ordered for myself the samples, and they have shipped very well. We did have a contest when I hit my 50th podcast, and I had those shipped directly from the producers to the recipients, the winners in the contest, and they shipped very well and was arrived on in good time. So we've got that. So on the B&B Airbnb, that's some new that new on Etsy, a promo code for the podcast listeners. I can consider you part of the podcast, even if you're watching this episode on YouTube or Facebook. If you book direct, now you would go to robinholstein.com, and up in the menu, you're going to select Holstein House. You can also choose Airbnb, but you want to choose Holstein House. Click on it to get this discount. If you use Airbnb, there's no discounts. There's no discounts because Airbnb takes a piece of everything, and I just, I have to give them money, and if I discount, then Airbnb doesn't discount. So they keep 100% of what they take regardless. So if you want a 5% discount, you need to book direct. You will go to Holstein House at robinholstein.com on the menu, and you will, when you book your room, you'll enter promo code podcast5. That's podcast5. I'm considering creating a few other discounts for specific weekends, and I'm also still working on getting a smooth transaction for Bitcoin. I do know the amount. I do have the amounts. If you want to pay with Bitcoin, or I don't like to say pay with Bitcoin. I like to say exchange your stay with Bitcoin. You know, so I will work that out with you. I will work that out. Reach out to me directly, and we will at Robin at robinholstein.com. We will work that out. But I am going to work on a specific discount for those who choose to pay direct with Bitcoin. And I don't have that package worked up just yet, but I will get that worked up. It's something I'm going to have to think it out really carefully because I want it to be significantly different than the other discounts because I want to encourage people to book direct and to use Bitcoin. But I can't go in the hole, and I need to make enough profit to make it worthwhile doing. So, I mean, most of you guys get that. You get that you can't run a business in the negative. So I've got to find that balance. I've got to find out a good value to present to you. I do offer my direct book guests, the coffee and chocolate package. I do offer. I don't have it up. Usually, what I do is reach out to guests and say, if you want a custom breakfast, which, one of the things, I know it kind of sounds hokey, but it's not. It's a traditional breakfast that my grandfather used to have. It's fried corn mush with your choice of molasses, maple syrup, or honey, and with a couple slices of bacon, and of course your coffee and stuff, or a breakfast porridge, which is a blueberry and rice porridge with some bacon or sausage. I can do sausage. Actually, I can do sausage with Renegade Butcher's sweet sausage spices. That's hard to say. And I can do those, but those have to be scheduled in advance, not the day you book, if you book the day before or a couple days before. So that needs to be done probably. So that's what I've got to work out. It's going to looking at about a week ahead of your stay, so that I have everything in place and ready to go when you get here. So that's something separate that I offer direct book guests as well. So I've got to work the package up on that and be ready to present it. I don't know. I don't know if it would be if I should have it on the web or not. There's also, if you go to robinholstein.com, there in the shop that's there, there's a download for a you can buy a guide for things in the area that I put together myself. You can buy a cookbook that I have. It's also on Amazon, but you know, you can buy it directly from me for less. And there's another one on there. Oh my, I've got a couple cookbooks on there. So they are electronic downloads, PDFs, and they are not too high. So I need to work out, I should work out and I'm thinking out loud at this point, I should work out the Bitcoin special on that direct download. But I am working on updating the website. I have locked this machine up a couple times with too many tabs open and stuff going on, trying to connect everything up. And I have made some changes. It's kind of clunky looking on some machines. I have a very big screen HP sitting here. It's like the all-in-one HP, and it distorts it pretty bad on it, but on the regular laptop and on the phone, it's in good shape. So depending on what you're looking at, it might look a little funky. But again, that's robinholstein.com. Go over there and check that out. The front porch vegetables are doing fair. I have not put anything additional in there. I still have the blueberry bush and I still have the strawberries, and they look like they're coming along okay. The back garden is yeah, I've lost some tomato plants back there because of the cold weather. I've got some that look like they're hanging on barely, and then I've got a couple that look really, really good. So I'm anxious for those. I have not yet put the beans in. I need to start those, but we just keep being so cold. It's just we didn't have frost this morning. There was no frost warning, but it was really cold this morning. It's nice this afternoon, and I got grass to cut today, so yay. May the 11th is the anticipated pip date for the ducklings. So the little mama duck creme brulee, she's got her nest built over there, and she's still, she does come out about once a day to get something to drink and run around a little bit, get something to eat, and then she's right back on that nest. So hopefully this is the first time she's ever been broody, and so this is the first time she's ever had a nest. I have no idea if she's laying on duds or not, but we'll see. We'll see. I hate the thought that if I give it a couple days, let's say by the 13th, if they haven't hatched, ooh, we're going to have to be careful getting rid of those, because that's going to be a stinky mess. The porch rails, the contractor got a hold of me the other day, and we should have had this done a long time ago. I am so frustrated with my contractor. He just is frustrating me. I didn't get to see him face to face. He messaged me that Tuesday he was going to swing by. He had to remeasure the porch and order the rails. Now, the reason I canceled the last order is because they weren't going to come in until May, and because of the distributor screw up. It's already May. I still don't have my porch rails. It's been 4 months. I'm not happy. So I think I don't know if I'm going to talk to the same contractor about the roof on the doghouse. I'm so aggravated by that, but we'll see. So the roof on the doghouse hasn't even happened yet. I'm sure the price is going to be all over the place, because this same contractor had given us an estimate, and I told him, I said, well, we get the handrails up on the porch, and then probably by April we'll be ready to start the doghouse if you have time. Oh, I got time. It's no problem. We'll get it done. So I don't have any guests coming in this weekend. I do have guests coming in next weekend. A young man coming in for a a race of some sort that's in the area. I've got to look that up a little more and see what's going on with it. I'm ashamed of myself. I'm not more on the ball with the things that's going on here in Kanawha County. And immediately around, I know this normally we would be gearing up for kayak season and a lot more in the hiking and stuff, but it's just been so chilly. I can't imagine that they're going to do that. I talked to you a little bit about the coffee and chocolate package. What that is, for those of you who don't know, is there is a roaster in St. Albans, West Virginia, which is about 25 miles or so to their location. From me, I have some of their coffees. It's pretty good, and it's a special West Virginia coffee and West Virginia chocolates, and the chocolates come from Hall's Chocolates. They are made in Parkersburg, West Virginia, and they have a little shop down in Charleston. So I have those available. It's a special package that you would select when you direct book. So when you do your podcast 5 or whatever else we come up with, you're going to have also the 5% off of the special package should you choose it. It's not automatic. You do have to choose it. And the package is good for stays between now and December 31st. You can't get it if you're booking through Airbnb. It's only for direct book guests. Let's see, you got about 15 minutes before I need to call it a day. I want to remind you that this is episode 60 of the Holstein House podcast. We premiered it on Fountain FM, but it is actually carried by a lot of the big ones. The iHeart and TuneIn and Apple and all of them should have it there. I have received information right after I started it that they did pick it up and they do run it. And if you participate in the value for value exchange, I hope that you will share any amount of value that you have found so far in this episode. I haven't been paying a lot of attention to the 24/7 news. It's just been exhausting to me. It's kind of like a soap opera. You can watch it on Tuesday and you can watch it on Friday, and that's all you need. Everything is wrapped up. Monday's a recap of Friday. Friday's a recap of the week. So if you watch it on Tuesday, you see some new stuff. If you watch it on Friday, you see what happened all week, and then you just do it that way. So you don't have to watch it all the time. And I'm also backing off on my interactions on Facebook. And I'm backing off because most of what I'm seeing now are my acquaintances and friends, not the close friends, but just the friends, are just regurgitating political insanity. It's no longer a conversation. It's no longer pictures of their food. It's no longer pictures of their family. It's just one fear-mongering, aggravated, finger-pointing political stupidity after another meme post. And I don't have time for that. I just don't have time for that. I want to share information on Holstein House for those who are traveling in the area. I want to share information on what's going on, whether it's the pets or whether it's the family or whether it's an anniversary or whether it's, I am so done with the political just insanity. I will vote because I believe we need to be voting. Only about 20% of the people who are eligible to vote actually do it. I still believe that if, 80% of the other 80% would just go ahead and educate themselves on the politicians and vote, that things could be changed in this country for the better. But throwing your hands up and saying it doesn't matter is what has gotten us into this position, I believe. And, you can, if you sit back and just watch, if you realize what's been going on, a minority of people, not skin color minority, but a minority of people have gotten loud and made a lot of change in this country. Whether you like it or not, that's what's happened. And if the rest of us would just stop throwing our hands up and wringing our hands and say, can't do anything about it, get off our duffs and go do something about it. I will be doing that at the ballot box. I will be doing that talking to friends. I'm not regurgitating these posts about this election was stolen, that election was stolen, this politician is a criminal and that politician's a criminal and this one grabbed some girl by the crotch and this one sniffed some woman's hair. I don't, that absolutely is a waste of our time, people. It's a waste of our time. You're making zero change in anyone's mind talking about this crap on Facebook, sharing these memes. Nobody's paying attention to that stuff anymore. You know what change you can make? Don't waste your time emailing. Either pick up the telephone or write a letter. Pick up the telephone or write a letter. I've got some around here somewhere. I've got labels for my representatives in DC and in Charleston, West Virginia. And I have some postcards, and I will just write on a postcard. You can get them at the post office already pre-stamped if you need to go that far. You can order them online from the post office pre-stamped if you want to go that route. This is what I think about this topic, and this is what I expected from you. Signed, me, the voter in, Kanawha County, West Virginia. Stick it in the mail. They're not seeing the emails. They're not responding to the telephone calls. The telephone calls, there's Betty Boxer. The telephone calls are going to voicemail, and very few of them are being responded to. Okay. You start clogging up their mail with letters or postcards, and they're going to say, what's going on here? They're not watching social media. They're not really paying attention to Twitter, because the stuff on Twitter is kind of like just this little sorority or fraternity arguing amongst themselves. They're not paying attention over there. If you want to make some change, of course, educate yourself first off. There's nothing worse than a stupid voter. You don't just go in and click all of the same political party, because that is the worst thing you can do. Educate yourself on the candidates. Vote for those people. Don't give me this, oh, they steal the votes. Just do it. If we overwhelm them, they can't cheat. Okay? Send letters. Send postcards. These people, don't waste your time messing around on Facebook. I mean, I like to interact with my friends on Facebook. I really do. But it's not going to be this anymore. It's not going to be this anymore. Get involved locally, whether it's with your church, whether it's with your school, whether it's with your PTA or PTO, fraternal organizations, sorority organizations, whatever it is. Get involved. Get involved. Know what's going on. And that's all I got to say about that. I'm going to leave that alone. I will talk just a little bit on what's going on with the church, because I got some exciting news that I haven't even shared with my church people yet. So you're going to be the first. Not that you really care, but of course, I've struggled, and a lot of you guys know I've been struggling to keep the doors of my church open. And I do anticipate, I have no reason to think that we won't get our new pastor by July 1st. I really think we'll have our new pastor by July 1st. But in the meantime, we're still obligated to do some things. And we put together a program. And one of the things I have been working on, getting people lined up to do lunch and learns. And I reached out, and we have a guaranteed 6-week program from the extension office at West Virginia State University. Now, this is not the Mountaineers out of Morgantown. This is West Virginia State University out of Institute, which is here in Kanawha County. I went there and got my associates in office administration, and I got my bachelor's from Mountain State. But anyway, they have an extension program at West Virginia State University. They have a 6-week program for kids, and it's a nutrition program. And we're going to be bringing them in starting in June, twice a week for 6 weeks for an hour at a time. And they're going to discuss proper nutrition with children and through the summer, because classes will be out then. And so I'm praying that that's gonna help us reach the community. Yeah, I have an ulterior motive in that I would like for it to also help us grow our church. That's a function of the Holy Spirit, though. So the Holy Spirit's going to have to work its work while the folks are there. There's not going to be preaching and stuff. Prayers will be before and after, not while the folks are there, because this is a community event and not a religious event. So we'll say our prayers that it's a good day before everybody comes in, before we open the doors, and then when we finish, we'll pray that everyone has been reached, and that the folks will be interested in the offerings of the church. Then it's up to the Holy Spirit to do the rest. So this is not a preaching. This is not like our Bible study or church service, but so it's the first step. I'm waiting to hear back from the Red Cross, hoping to get a little basic first aid class from the Red Cross in. I reached out to oh, well, it was the same. It was a different person, but it was at the extension office for some other classes that they might offer. And so I've got a couple other things that I want to try to do to reach out to fill our dates through the summer. So I'm really excited about that. This has been such a difficult period for me, and a lot of you guys understand that. You've watched me struggle with dealing with the changes in the church and the things that happened, like with the heater going down and trying to get that fixed, and me trying to fix it myself, and all of those things. And I'm still working towards my lay minister certification, which that's going to take a year. That'll be January before I'm finished with it. But so you've seen that a little bit, and I appreciate your patience on it. And I know that I'm not always, you know, uh, streamlined. I'm kind of all over the place sometimes, and but it's all going to be okay in the end. It honestly will be. It's just getting there. It's just getting there. So I'm going to start wrapping up here now. I don't see any other comments. And that's okay. We'll have that from time to time. It's a gorgeous day outside. I've been trying to do a daily update, a daily report from the front porch. It's kind of what I want on the Holstein House front porch. And I'm doing it a little early, but that's what time I can do it. See, the problem is, of course, we get up really early, and we get up on a normal day around. He usually gets up around 4. I give him time to get down and get dressed in the bathroom and everything, and then I usually get up about 4:30. And then he's out the door and he goes to work. It's about an hour from the house where he works, so we have an early day. Then by the time sun's up and things, I'm feeding the chickens and the ducks, letting them out, feeding the dogs, feeding the cats, getting just basic mundane things done here. If we have guests, I'm setting out the food for the guests, cleaning up after the guests. If there are one night guests, then I'm changing the room and getting things ready for the next guest, and those type of stuff. Plus trying to do our garden, plus trying to do just stuff and things for my father, because I have certain responsibilities with him, and stuff just life needs to be done. And I come back around to, I've been doing these just kind of weather updates a little bit, just saying hello, and it's, I don't know, 45 degrees and whatever that is in Celsius on the Holstein House front porch this morning. I need to do those a little later in the morning because it's not daylight yet. So it's very repetitive, and I'm sitting in a chair upstairs where I used to do the podcast from. And I really try to keep it to 30 seconds, but I can't always. But it's under a minute. And I post it, on the YouTube and on the TikTok and on the Clapper and on the Rumble and in the Telegram group, and it get on the Instagram that goes also to the Facebook page and stuff. So it's getting out there, but it's always dark. It's always dark. So I'm thinking about trying to get a better time in the morning to do that, and I'm not really sure, and to do it actually from the front porch. I'd like to get those handrails done first, and I'll need to, and I'm kind of thinking out loud now. But if you've seen those, please make a comment. Let me know that you saw it and what you think. I know I do get some interaction in the Telegram group. So a little bit of comment. And that Telegram group, again, is t.me/Holstein House. And if you're on Telegram, come on over and join. Let me think. Oh, I'm supposed to do a lot of other promotions, and I'm never any good at doing those promotions to say, this is where you can find me. I'm on all the major socials. I'm on the Facebook, the Instagram, the MeWe, the Freesteading. It's my brain locked up on it. I'm on all of them. I'm on all of them. I've got the Etsy shop. I'm on Twitter. I don't do much on Twitter anymore. We do Rumble. Locals. I have a locals account. I've only put a few things there because I just didn't. I don't know. Buy me a coffee. I've got an account there. I was going to try to use it to do the doghouse roof, but I haven't done that yet. But there's several things that several places that you can find me. So this was episode 60. It was kind of around the way. It was live unscripted, but it was pretty scripted today since we didn't have a lot of interaction today, but that's okay. It's that time of year, and we'll find out that more. Look up robinholstein.com, and if you're interested, check out our Holstein House. Look at the different options, Airbnb and direct book, and see which one's best for you. I hope to see you again Tuesday live right here. We'll see you again then. Bye-bye.